Hello, my name is Felix Carros. I work at the University of Siegen, and today I'm going to present you the work with the title Care Workers Making Use of Robots, Results of a 3-month Study on Human-Robot Interaction within a Care Home. That work was done together with the TU Wien, namely Isabel Schwaninger, Adrian Preussner, Dave Randall, Rainer Wieching, Geraldine Fitzpatrick, and Volker Wulf. The problem definition we had that motivated our work was since 2017, we worked with the robot Pepper in a care home or in several care homes. And we saw that residents enjoy to interact with the robot. Also that the care workers were seeing it as something useful. So we had quite a good acceptance among residents, but the care home itself also. But we also saw that a human controller is needed, or a wrangler. So that is a person that is moderating the interaction between the residents and the robot, people bringing the robot to the rooms where the interaction is happening, maybe recharging the battery, choosing applications on the robot tablet, a lot of different small tasks that made it impossible that a robot is alone with the resident. You always needed someone. And that person usually was us, the researchers, and that was not really sustainable. I mean, we want with our work to, to enhance the care or to help the care. We want to develop something useful for them. And but if you always need a technical person behind controlling the robot, this is not going to help. We actually needed the care workers or the social care workers to be able to use the robot as a tool for their work. And that was not accomplished yet. We also saw that the social care workers had uncertainties with using the robot. They were afraid of breaking it. They didn't know how to react when there was a software bug. And so they preferred that we are using it. Sometimes we left the robot there for some time, and then after months I asked them, did you use it? And they were like, no, not really. So there was a gap that the residents like to use it, and general care workers and management were thinking it's useful, but we were not using it. Further, there was the COVID pandemic, and the robot was seen as something useful for avoiding to spreading the virus. The methods we used were qualitative and quantitative: workshops, observations of the interaction, interviews with all involved, so family members, care workers, management, the residents, of course, giving support to the care workers when using the robot. So we had like a WhatsApp group, but also when we have been there to do the observation, we help them. And on the quantitative side, we have questionnaires and log files telling us how long the robot was used and what application we used. In the results, we saw that the interaction was mainly between the robot and the resident and the care worker in the background as a moderator. In previous studies, it was more like group interactions. So we had like 5, 6 residents interacting with one robot and, of course, a moderating person again. That was different. That was more like the routine of care workers that implied that kind of interaction. They felt more comfortable to do like one-on-one interactions. The usage time on average was 1 hour and 7 minutes. We have to add to this a starting time and an end time. So bringing the robot to the room, bringing it back, starting the robot and turning it down. Generally, the usage was perceived as a relief by the care workers or the social care workers. It was giving them more possibilities of activation. So the we had like different activation applications on the robot, 40 in total. It was about cognitive activation, physical activation, psychosocial activation. So people could play games or listen to a story or do like some sport activities with the robots. And so the care workers didn't have to prepare for these activities. They could just use the robot doing these activities, and they only had to start it on the tablet, an application. Also, for some residents, it was they preferred to, or they, in some situations, it was better for the residents to interact with a robot than with a human. Not always, but we saw, for example, one situation of crisis where there was one person who was with dementia, and she wanted to go home, and the care workers didn't really know what to do. She was not happy, the resident. And then they brought in the robot, and that somehow distracted it from what she wanted to do, and that was a relief for the care workers. They had something that was helping in the situation. And also, as another point of relief is that the care worker or the social care worker is not always the center of attention. He's sitting next to it and, of course, moderating, but also that gives him time to maybe check the phone or to fill out some documents, help maybe if it was group interactions, help one specific resident if he had like a specific need, without stopping the whole interaction. Another result was as you can see also on the left side that the process integration was structured. So the care home could choose themselves how they want to integrate this robot, and they choose like a structured way of saying on certain days and certain times the robot will be used. Additionally, the care workers could also use it whenever they wanted, but there was a fixed time, and they made like a monthly plan. So it was very structured. The preferred applications of the robot of the residents and of the care workers using it was psychosocial activation. So that was, for example, application like guessing the age. Resident liked that. So I mean, the robot was quite nice with that, and quite often told 80 years old woman that they looked like 60 years old. So they enjoyed that. But also there was like soccer songs. So we collected the favorite soccer teams of residents, and then the robots was playing the song of the soccer team and dancing to it. And yeah, they enjoyed it. So with this, I come to an end. Thank you for your attention. It was a pleasure to present it to you. And I would like to take the opportunity to thank all people involved, especially the care home, but also the reviewers. This work would not have been possible without them. Thank you. Bye.